Buffalo grass is one of our nice, low-growing, fine-textured indigenous grasses native to about the western two-thirds of our state. It's one of the dominant species of the shortgrass prairies, and its natural range extends a lot further west even than Oklahoma. And as you might imagine, with a name like buffalo grass, it is a favorite forage of bison. It's also grazed on a lot out west by antelope. Well, we have a lot of nice buffalo grass lawns in Oklahoma, but there are also a lot of myths or misconceptions about its use as a turf grass. With its rugged reputation for occupying harsh, drought-prone sites out in the west, a lot of people have gotten the impression that it can handle about anything, that it's tough enough to withstand any kind of stress or anything like that. Sometimes it's touted as the wonder grass that doesn't have any problems. Well, the truth is, buffalo grass can actually not be the most perfect grass for every situation. A lot of homeowners have problems when they try to give a buffalo grass lawn the same maintenance program as a Bermuda grass lawn. For instance, the amount of fertilizer, the amount of water, and the low mowing height recommended for Bermuda grass can really damage a buffalo grass lawn. One of the main reasons this is so harmful is that it allows other grass species or weeds to outcompete it. The truth is, buffalo grass is not as dynamic or it's not as versatile as Bermuda grass. Like buffalo grass, Bermuda grass can handle drought, it can handle extreme cold, it can handle extreme heat, and it's also quite adaptable to soils with low fertility. But unlike buffalo grass, Bermuda grass can also handle extreme amounts of water and excess amounts of fertilizer, a lot of foot traffic, and Bermuda grass is so aggressive that it can pretty much outcompete or outgrow any plant that's planted with it. So as much as I like native plants, I have to admit Bermuda grass is probably the best turf grass for the way most people manage their lawns. Buffalo grass can make a nice lawn if it's treated the way it would be treated out on the prairie. Just give it about 1/5 the amount of nitrogen that you would give a Bermuda grass lawn. That's only going to be about a half a pound to a pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet in a year, as opposed to the 5 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet that Bermuda grass requires. Also, don't water your buffalo grass lawn as much. Just water it minimally or not at all. And you can also raise the mowing height of the buffalo grass. In the western part of Oklahoma, you could choose to not mow your buffalo grass at all. And with the naturally lower amounts of rainfall in that part of the state, it may only get to be about 2 or 3 inches. Now in the eastern part of Oklahoma, you could also choose to not mow your buffalo grass lawn, but just remember you may have a turf that will be about 6 to 8 inches tall. Well, another thing to think about when thinking about not mowing a buffalo grass lawn is the presence of the flowering structures that will pop up in the lawn. You can see right here some of these flowering structures of the buffalo grass. Some people think this looks weedy or messy on the lawn, but other people like the way it looks. They think it has sort of a natural look, and I think it's really neat looking at the flowers up close. You get that nice peach or salmon color of the anthers. Buffalo grass is a dioecious plant. That means it has male flowers on some plants and female flowers on other plants. The way to get around having these male flowers in your lawn would be to plant a cultivar made up entirely of female clones. The cultivar 609 is one such cultivar. In fact, we have 609 buffalo grass planted in our little garden railway lawn here at our studio gardens. The female flowers of this cultivar are a different shape and they're located down inside the turf. They're not held up above the turf like the male flowers are. I just want to point out that the buffalo grass we have in our garden railway at times does have thin areas and areas where the weeds kind of come in. And again, that's because it probably gets a little more water than what it would be happy with. Another good key to having a really nice buffalo grass lawn is to make sure you get rid of all the existing turf before you start to plant your buffalo grass. And it's most important that all the Bermuda grass be eliminated from the area. Well, you can plant buffalo grass as sod, you can plant it from seed, or you can plant plugs. The sodded lawns are going to be the most expensive, with the seeded buffalo grass lawns being the least expensive. You can figure on about 2 pounds of buffalo grass seed for every 1,000 square feet of turf. Well, right down here we've got a small plot of buffalo grass turf that we started from seed. This was planted about 6 weeks ago, sown at about the end of July. And you can see how good a cover we've gotten here in about 6 weeks. These are our turf plots here at the OSU Turf Grass Research Center, and we've got some seeded plots. We've got also some plots that were started by plugs. You can see in this little plot here, these large clumps were where the plugs, or small portions of buffalo grass, were planted, again, about 6 weeks ago. They're planted about 18 inches apart. You can see how the grass is already starting to fill in. I think a lot of people don't realize that buffalo grass also has stolons, like Bermuda grass, or runners. You can see that this is the way it colonizes an area. It just sends out these stolons, or runners. They root at the nodes, or the little portions where the leaves join the stems. It helps to thicken up the turf. But also, I want you to realize that even though it has these stolons, buffalo grass is still nowhere near as aggressive as Bermuda grass. Right over here I've got a portion of Bermuda grass, and you can see that Bermuda grass not only has the above ground stems, or stolons, like the buffalo grass, but it also has these below ground stems, or rhizomes. So it's got more than one method of colonizing an area. But again, buffalo grass is nowhere near as aggressive as the Bermuda grass. Buffalo grass is a nice native drought-tolerant grass, but it's not a wonder grass like some people might lead you to believe. It can make a nice, low-maintenance, low-input lawn. Just don't treat it like Bermuda grass. Treat it as if it were growing out on the hot, dry, nutrient-poor native prairie.